Hey, English 112 students, it's Miss Williams. Welcome to the last week of class. This is week 13, and you are going to be working on your final exam this week, which has two parts. Remember that your final exam is due by midnight on Wednesday the 10th, and I have to get my final grades into Gaston by Friday the 12th, which means I only have 2 days to grade 78 videos and 78 essays. So I cannot accept any late exams, and it's a big part of your final grade. So just make sure that you turn it in on time. The first part of your final exam is, of course, the essay. You've already done your research, you've got your sources that you prepared on your annotated bibliography. So now you're going to be writing the paper. And this is, by the way, the assignment overview, which is with this week's assignments. And I'll go back and show you what else is there with this. But this is the final exam overview. Make sure you read through it. It's got a lot of information. But the written portion, I tell you what to put in the intro, what goes in your main idea paragraphs, and just some reminders about MLA. Some of you have really struggled with that this year or this semester. And just remember, you're not going to have time to revise this essay. So you want to get that formatting correct. And I'll remind you of what you can look at to help. How are you going to turn this in? There is a link under assignments. So here we are at the top of assignments with Charlie Brown and Snoopy. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you've got final exam prep week, which is where your assignment overview is, and some other resources that I'm going to show you. But the link to turn in your final exam, the written portion, is at the bottom here. So you would submit there. So that's the written portion. And again, I'm not going to read through all this, but there's very specific information here. Excuse me. That you guys need to look at. So make sure you read through this. If it's highlighted in yellow, that means it's important. The other part of your final exam is a presentation. It needs to be between 4 and 5 minutes. You're going to record it on a video, record yourself, and then upload it to YouTube. Basically, you're just going to, I would say, have an outline of your paper with the thesis, your main ideas, some of the important quotes that you found. Remember, Rogerian is all about your perspective, the opposite perspective, and then trying to find some common ground between those two perspectives. So you're going to do the presentation. You're going to tell me all about your topic and your main ideas, and make sure you're in a well-lit place that I can see you. You don't have a hat on. It's not super dark. Like, I can actually see your face and I can hear you. The good thing is you don't have to get up in front of a classroom, which some of you probably don't want to do, but you do need to do a clear, professional type video that I can watch one time through and really get a grasp on what your topic is. Once you record that, you'll post it on YouTube. I know some of you don't want your videos to be public on YouTube. As soon as I grade it, if you prefer, you can delete it. I can let you know that I've graded it, and you can go in there and delete it, but it just makes it easier if it's public so that I can access it. And then so that needs to be posted in a discussion board. So if you go to the discussion board, you will copy and paste your YouTube video link in this discussion board. Again, that's due by Wednesday, May the 10th at midnight. Just create a thread. It would be helpful if you could type some text in your thread. And just take the link from YouTube and add it into that text. You'll put the URL there. You can do the same title as the the text to display. It really doesn't matter what you type there. And then just save it. And that makes it real easy for me to scroll through as I'm grading these. Just click on your link and it'll open rather than you copying and pasting the link there and it won't open. So, or I have to copy and paste it into a browser and it just takes me longer to do that. So it's a lot easier if you just embed your link in text. All right, so again, that's due Wednesday, May the 10th by midnight. So you turn in your paper with at the bottom of assignments in that submission link, and you turn in your video link. There's the submission link for your essay. You turn in the video link in the discussion board. All right, so some other resources that you have this week. You've got the grading rubric you can look at. What does it mean to get an A? Remember, you guys are not going to have time to revise. So what I do for a lot of you who have done a pretty good job with your paper, but you still have some formatting issues, I'll usually just give you an 88 or 89 because you need to go back in there and fix your MLA formatting. And then once you do that, your grade comes up to an A. But you're not going to have that opportunity this time. You don't have time to revise these essays. So make sure that you actually have your formatting correct the first time around. I hate to give a good paper an 89 just because you don't have colons in front of your quotes or your works cited page is not correct. So rubrics there, the overview is here, and I think that's a Word document and then a PDF. But you've also got a student example of a paper you can look at. Not only is their paper well organized, but their formatting is also correct. So some of you that continue to struggle with this, you don't have your header, you don't have a title, your paper's not double spaced. I mean, dear Lord in heaven, your quotes are not incorporated correctly with the colon, with the citation at the end. Look at this student paper. If you don't do anything else that I tell you to do, look at the student paper. Look at their works cited page. Their works cited page is perfect. So if your works cited page does not look like this, then it's not correct, and it's going to show in your grade. I want you to get the best grade possible. So look at the student example. Also, if you're struggling with incorporating quotes, this document is pretty short and to the point, but it's been with every assignment, as far as your formal assignments, I've always had this attached in the assignment so that you can look through this. It's a reminder about MLA, but it's also helpful with the way that I want you to incorporate quotes. And some teachers don't teach MLA correctly. They kind of just let you do whatever with your quotes. They let you have sentence fragments before your quote. They let you paraphrase. That's not correct. And, shame on them, but I teach it the correct way because I'm trying to make you stronger writers. So make sure you have a full, complete sentence before your quote, that if I remove the quote, your paper would still make sense because you would have complete sentences. You should make a general statement, and then you should have your quote behind that general statement with the colon and with the citation at the end. So this is a good reminder of that. Some of you have been doing that all semester. Some of you, you're going to lose points because you're not following directions. But I'm giving you one last chance here with your final exam. Look through that incorporating quotes document. It'll help you. The good news is this week, as you're working on your final exam, you've got 5 days in the weekend to just write your paper and make your video. You've got plenty of time. And then you've got 3 days next week. So this week would be a good time if you have questions or if you're struggling to reach out to me. Next week is not going to be a good time to reach out to me. Monday maybe, but I'm going to start grading because some of y'all are going to turn this in by Wednesday this week. So I'll start grading as soon as you start turning things in. That doesn't mean you can revise for higher grades, by the way, but I will grade as you turn these in. And once I start grading next Monday, I'm not going to have time to really spend with you if you have questions or you need to jump on Zoom. So make sure you reach out this week and let me know if you have questions. Don't wait to the last minute to work on this because you're not going to have time to revise it. So I know that you had that opportunity throughout the semester. Wait to the last minute, turn in a crappy paper. Miss Williams is going to let me revise it anyway. You don't have that opportunity this time. So try to do your best on your final draft because you're not going to get